Hi everyone, I am Grace, the founder of Honest Bellies. How are you? Today I'm going to do a live. I'm going to talk about the 4 things that I did which allowed me to get rid of my mummy tummy after my first pregnancy and allowed me to successfully close my over 10 finger diastasis recti. Before we start, please do me a favor, just say hi in the type box so that I know that you are here. Also, let's do a quick technology check. So please type in 1 if you can hear and you can see me successfully so that I know that we are all set to have a great session. Okay, great. I can see that people are start to joining. So thank you so much for your time. I know your time is very valuable and I'll make sure that I deliver a lot of good content with a lot of good value in this the time with you. Okay, for the ones who don't know me, so my name is Grace. I am the founder of Honest Bellies. What I do is really helping pregnant women as well as moms to get rid of their mummy tummy, heal diastasis recti, to regain their pre-pregnancy body and to become the best versions of themselves. And so why am I doing this? So let me tell you a little bit about my own story. So after my first child was born, it was about 2.5 years ago, I was diagnosed with over 10 finger gap on my abdominal muscles. So the problem is called a diastasis recti. So for the people who don't know what diastasis recti is, so it is an abdominal muscle separation, and which happens quite common among pregnant women and moms. And why is because it's also because that as our tummy grow during pregnancy, our abdominal muscles are undergoing a lot of pressure and it's becoming overstretched. That's why the gap was caused as a result. And but the poor thing with me was that I wasn't aware that I had this problem, so-called diastasis recti, until about 6 or 7 months after my son was born. And before that, I was doing everything wrong that actually contributed to the development of diastasis recti. I was totally shocked when I knew that I was doing everything wrong and I had the problem. And I think my story was not uncommon among moms and among pregnant women, because I think a lot of people, before we are really facing a problem ourselves, we probably don't know, we probably have never heard of the problem, right? So type in 1 into the chat box if you have never heard of diastasis recti before you got pregnant or before you delivered your first baby. Yeah, I can see a lot of ones here, right? I think a lot of us are just not very educated about this topic, and thus we were doing a lot of the things wrong. We were not aware of this problem. For many moms, even we've already had the problem for years. We probably have seen that we have a mummy tummy on our belly and we don't like it, we hate it, but we don't know what we can do to help with it. And we just thought that it's normal because everyone says you've had the baby and it's really normal to have a mummy tummy. And I remember that when I went to see a doctor about 6 months after I developed my baby, and the doctor said to me, it's totally normal to have a mummy tummy like that, and you should stop thinking about going back to your pre-pregnancy tummy. I mean, this was so discouraging, right? But it's true. This is kind of the perception that we all get. But I think what we should do is that we need to get more educated, because this problem is not only like making us look not as good as we were before, it's also really damaging our health because it has a lot of bad effects on our overall health and on our body. So that's why I founded Honest Bellies, because I really wanted to educate women so that we are more aware of the problem as we go through pregnancy, and as we become moms, we really know what are the right things that we need to do and what are the wrong things that we definitely need to avoid, so that we can really try to minimize the problem of having a mummy tummy, right? And also back to my story. So how big my gap was, it was over 10 fingers. So it was literally about 13 to 14 fingers after my first child was born. It was humongous. So when I went to a physio, she checked my tummy. She put both her hands inside, and she could not really tell well where the edge of the two pieces of the abdominal muscles were. Yeah, it was that big. And I was like looked like I was 6 or 7 months pregnant, even though I was already 6 or 7 months postnatal. So that's how bad I looked at that time. But after about 1.5 years, I was able to do all the right things and get rid of my mummy tummy, and I was able to regain my pre-pregnancy tummy. So my belly looked flat. It looked really, really nice. And so I just want to use my story to tell that the mummy tummy is curable, as long as you are persistent, as long as you are doing all the right things, right? So don't lose hope. Don't think that, okay, other people are saying that the mummy tummy is not curable. No, it's not. You just need to do the work, and you need to know what are the right things to do. Okay, so that's why I founded Honest Bellies, because I feel in a mission to educate women and to empower women to really look after ourselves, look after our prenatal and postnatal bodies, and to become the best, the most beautiful versions of ourselves. Okay, that's a little bit about my background. So now I'm going to share with you the 4 things that I did that allowed me to successfully get rid of my mummy tummy. So these are the 4 things that I did. I'm also going to talk a little bit into detail after I give the summary of the 4 things. So the first thing was I immediately stopped doing all the wrong activities and all the wrong kind of posture that actually contributed to the problem. And the second thing was I started to do very targeted core exercise that would help the healing of my tummy. And the third thing is I started to wear supportive clothing, and it turned out to be extremely beneficial, extremely helpful in healing my tummy. And the last thing is I started to really prioritize health, and I started to pay great attention to my mental health and to how I feel the relationship with my body, and so that I was able to kind of activate the natural healing power of my own body. Okay, let me now talk a little bit more on each of these 4 things that I did. The first one was I stopped doing all the wrong things. So what the things that I did wrong? Talking about exercise. So I used to be a big fan of yoga, Pilates, and swimming, particularly front crawl swimming. But you would know, if you have diastasis, or if you're having a risk of developing diastasis, you should avoid all the body positions, including kind of all fours, which has a lot in yoga and Pilates. And you should also avoid twisting your upper body, because these 2 body positions will directly contribute to diastasis recti. Okay, and you can imagine when I was pregnant with my first baby, I was literally doing pregnancy yoga 3 to 4 times a week, and I would go swimming, front crawl swimming, which has a lot of body twisting, once or twice a week. And I did that all the way through until I delivered the baby. And after I delivered the baby, about 6 to 7 weeks later, I started to do yoga again. So that was how committed I was to yoga. But in fact, that has contributed greatly to my problem, to my tummy problem. So I just stopped that immediately. And then I also started to really watch out to my body alignment and body posture, and I got rid of all the wrong alignment and posture I used to have. So I used to have a bad habit. So for example, I like to slouch, especially when I sit. And also I didn't kind of engage my core that much when I was walking. So when I was walking or standing, so my core was always very loose. But those are all the wrong body posture that will kind of contribute to diastasis. And so what I did was I started to really watch out to my body alignment, making sure that I was not slouching, I was not maybe over arching my back so that I would let my belly kind of stand out. No, I stopped doing that, and I really started to pay attention to my core. I started to engage my core when I walk, when I sit, and these really helped with the healing of diastasis recti. And also I pay attention to my breathing. And so a lot of people are used to chest breathing, but it's actually creating a lot of pressure inside your abdominal area, which is not good, especially if you have a diastasis recti. So the right way to breathe is diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing. So I started to really practice breathing, and I got used to diaphragmatic breathing, and I was doing it kind of unconsciously. I was able to breathe correctly, and that really helped with the healing of diastasis as well. So this is number one thing that I did. The second thing is I started to do really targeted core exercise. Those exercises are quite gentle. So some I was able to do kind of just by lying on the bed. Some I was standing, or sometimes I was like walking. And these exercises, like when you do them, you feel kind of maybe depending on how difficult the exercises are, some can be quite light, but you're actually really engage your deep connective tissue of your tummy, and it was really kind of beneficial over the long term. And I was doing all those core exercises every day persistently. And I also learned how to exercise safe. For example, how to engage the core if I am about to lift heavy items, or if I am like using dumbbells to train my upper body. So really became very careful in doing all those exercises. That's the second thing. And the third thing was wearing supportive clothing. This turned out to be, I was a little bit suspicious about how beneficial wear a supportive clothing could be, but I decided to have a try because I was like a full-time mom. I was a mom, plus I was working full-time, so I was really busy. I didn't have much time to exercise, so I thought everything that I could do that can at least help a little, I would give a try. I tried at least 20 to 30 different kind of clothing, including kind of like the wraps and the belts, and I was able to find two that I really liked. When I wear them, I don't feel any pressure on my tummy, but they actually provide quite strong support. I was wearing that since 6 or 7 months yet. Once I was diagnosed with diastasis recti, I started to look for those clothes, and I was wearing them all the way until right now, which is already nearly kind of 2 years later. I'm still wearing them, and they're just very comfortable to wear. I don't even feel them when I wear them, but they, I think, at least like tripled or quadrupled the result that I'm having. And the last one is really start to pay attention to my mental health and start to build the positive connection between my body and my mind. I think as moms, we kind of fall into two kind of negative habits. Number one is a lot of us, we like to always judge ourselves and thinking that we're not as perfect as we used to be. and we're not as beautiful as we would like, and start to blame our body. This is really bad because it disconnects our body from our mind. Please type in 1 if you also had this kind of thought where you think, okay, my body's not as good, I'm just not very happy, not content about my body. I definitely had one. Yeah, I think that's one. And the second thing is we kind of deprioritize taking care of our body because there are just so many other things that are on our agenda. We have the baby that we need to look after, we have family, and a lot of us are working as well. So really our body ended up to be like on the last of our priority list. But this is a really, really long run, because if you ignore your body will ignore you. If you ignore your body will not become better. That's a simple truth. And also, over the past 2 years, as I was healing my core, I realized that all our bodies have tremendous natural healing power. And what we need to do is actually not force it to become better, but just to love and nurture our bodies so we can activate its healing power to the full. Right, so I want to use analogy. So I think our bodies are like our children, our babies. If you nurture your baby, you love your baby will thrive, will grow confidently. But if you blame your baby to be not smart enough and not pretty enough and not eating well, if you're just judging your baby all the time, your baby will become grumpy. He will not be happy, and he will not grow confidently, right? So that's exactly the same with our bodies. So what we need to do is really just embrace our bodies as what they are, appreciate the fact that our bodies have been doing wonderful things and it's still functioning very well, and start to spare some time to build the positive connection with the body and start to love and nurture the body. And naturally your body will be able to thrive, will be able to shine, and will become better and better. So that's the fourth thing that I did, which really helped tremendously to the healing of my postnatal tummy, and really helped with getting my tummy back to the pre-pregnancy state. So those are the 4 things that I did. So let me kind of summarize again. The 4 things that I did which successfully helped me to get rid of my mummy tummies are, first of all, just get rid of all the bad habits in terms of your body alignment, how you walk, how you stand, and that would potentially contribute to the development of diastasis recti. And the second thing is really stop doing the wrong exercises, such as the exercises that would require you to twist your body, your upper body, and to do frontal position. And the next thing was doing targeted core exercise that would help the healing of diastasis recti and help with the closing of the gap. And the third one is finding a supportive clothing that provides strong support to your tummy, but it's also very comfortable to wear. So for this one, I want to add a point. So I am like pregnant right now. I'm 26 weeks pregnant with my second baby. I have not stopped wearing supportive clothing, and I'm still wearing it every day, and it's really helping tremendously, preventing me to have very big tummy gap again from my second pregnancy. So just find one that is really comfortable, that you can wear it 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day without feel a thing. That's the key. If you find a belt or a wrap or kind of a supportive clothing that is too tight, that is not comfortable, it actually adds into the intra-abdominal pressure within your tummy, and that's actually not very good for the healing of your tummy, and I would advise against that. So I would suggest you to really pick a clothes that you feel really comfortable to wear, also provides very strong support to your tummy. Yeah, that will really help you and help your tummy healing. lastly, but most importantly, is really to build a very positive body-mind association. Really start to love your body, embracing what it is. Stop blaming your body for not being perfect, and just to nurture it. And over time, your mind, how your mind think will become how your body, how your tummy will be. And yeah, so these are really the 4 things. I hope you find them helpful. So do please leave me a comment below if you have any questions, and even if you are watching the replay, please leave me a comment as well. And because I will go through all the comments even afterwards, and I will make sure to answer all the questions you have. Okay, so this is me again, Grace. I'm the founder of Honest Bellies, and what I do here is really I wanted to help pregnant women and moms to get rid of their mommy tummies and to become the most beautiful versions of themselves. And if you have further questions and you want to have a conversation with me, just to chat about your tummy, chat about how I may be able to help you, yeah, feel free just to direct message me here, and I will make sure to get back to you. And so thank you everyone for your time, and I really you'll find this session helpful. So Grace from here, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.